Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we will be talking about one of the most anticipated devices of 2023, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. So Redmi Note series devices are extremely popular in India and even globally as well. So this time also we have Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G, the top end variant, and that's what we have with us today. And we're going to talk about this device. We'll share our first impressions of this. This is definitely not a review. We'll be coming up with the detailed camera review, the charging test, and our detailed set of videos. But this is our first impression. We'll talk about this device, what we felt about this device, the hardware offered, and the cameras. That's one of the highlights. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So this is the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. So we'll not be doing unboxing. Instead, we'll share our first impressions. So before getting started, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that red subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin the hands-on with the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. So first up, let's have a look at the device. So this is the white color of the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G, and there are different colors as well. So this is one of the really premium looking devices out there. Now let's first have a look at the design. Now if you look at the design, you get the camera layout. Slight projection is there for the camera layout, and this houses the triple camera setup. We have a 200 megapixel camera, then you have the 8 megapixel ultra wide, and the macro sensor is housed in the metal case. Then we have the glass finishing on the back panel. This is actually made of toughened glass, and you can see that the edges are curved. All the four edges are given a curved finish, so that means you get a good in-hand feel to the device, and you can also see the Redmi 5G branding. Now on the top you get the 3.5mm audio jack. That was one of the important things, because a lot of devices now do not come with 3.5mm audio jack. So you get the 3.5mm audio jack, then the regular IR blaster is there, then you get the speaker unit. You have dual stereo speakers, so bottom also there and top also you get the speakers. Now bottom section has the SIM tray. There is no SD card slot. Instead this is a dual SIM card. It's a 5G enabled device. Then you get the USB Type-C port. Then on the side you get the power button and the volume rocker keys. Now the power button acts as a fingerprint scanner as well, so that's the dual integration. Now on the front panel you get this large display. It's a beautiful display. In fact, you also get a punch hole selfie camera as well. So that's the main hardware. Now if you look at the weight, this is around 207 grams, which feels good actually. The weight distribution feels pretty good. So even if you're holding, because of the curved finishing, it does give a good in-hand feel altogether. Now the premiumness is definitely felt on this device. It definitely feels premium, and you actually feel that sturdiness when you use the device. Now let's talk about the display. Now you get a large display. The display has a lot of advantages. It has very good brightness levels. It has HDR support as well. Then you HDR10 support as well. Then you get 120 Hz AMOLED display. It's a 10-bit AMOLED display. That means you get 1 billion plus colors, and you also get Dolby Vision support. That makes the display one of the class-leading displays out there in this price segment, because if you are a person who loves to watch a lot of movies or multimedia content, then this is definitely a treat to use. Excellent display quality, the touch response is good, and you also get Gorilla Glass 5 protection, so you are protected with respect to any scratches, and you also get the screen guard installed. So display quality is superb, especially if you are watching a lot of movies and content. This is definitely a treat to use. The touch response also feels very smooth and hardly any issues here. The 120 Hz refresh rate also gives in a great experience. Now next, let's talk about the software. Now as usual, you get the MIUI 13 on this device. This is the MIUI 13.0.2. Now this comes with Android 12. So we would have liked Android 13 on this device, but again, this is not a very premium device. I mean, in terms of pricing, this is in the mid-range segment. So again, 13 should have been there, but again, Xiaomi has promised update cycles. Also 2 update cycles are promised, so you should be getting Android 13 pretty soon. So that's the software. Now you get with the MIUI 13, you get a plethora of options. You can see that this is powered by Android 12 and MIUI 13.0.2, and it should be getting MIUI 14 as well. Now the software experience is definitely good, because generally if you see MIUI devices, you can see some additional options and tools and even there is always on display. Again, if you go to the display, there are color schemes to choose. 120 Hz refresh rate is there. Then you can customize with themes. Then there is additional special features like floating window, second space, light mode. So these options are also there. So if you have used the MIUI before, you might be knowing what all features this offers. So again, here also you get a pretty feature rich MIUI, and we don't have any sort of issues here. It has been very smooth, more or less bug free experience with this device, and we didn't see any major issues here, and it's a pretty smooth experience. Probably only downside we would say is it should have been Android 13 out of the box, but otherwise it's a very good UI. And Xiaomi is also promising 2 years of security updates and 3 years of software updates, or rather security updates and 2 years of software updates is what Xiaomi is offering. Next, let's talk about the camera. So that's one of the important things. We get a 200 megapixel camera on this device. This is Samsung's HPX sensor. It's a 200 megapixel f1.65 aperture, and this is the first time you're seeing this 200 megapixel sensor in this price segment, and that too on a Redmi Note device. And here are some samples. We'll reserve a verdict on the camera later, because we are not allowed to talk about the final verdict of the camera right now. This is just a first impression. We'll have the detailed camera review later, but you can actually see some of the camera samples we have taken. This has come pretty good, and it looks good actually in terms of quality and colors and overall experience. So we'll talk about the camera in a separate video. So here are some camera samples we have taken with the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. Now you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera, and that's f2.45 aperture as well. Now you also get 4K video recording on this device, because last year's Note did not have 4K recording. Now you also get optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization. So optical image stabilization makes low light experience also really good. So stay tuned for our camera review to know more about the camera experience. Now finally, the battery. Now you get a 4980 milliamp hour battery. That's almost 5000 milliamp hour, just 220 milliamp hour less, and you get the 120 watt hypercharge. That is blazingly fast charging. Xiaomi claims around 19 minutes for 1 to 100%. We have to test that. We'll have the charging test later. So that's the charging speed offered by Xiaomi. That's really blazing fast for a phone in this price segment. 120 watt hypercharge. So we have seen this hypercharge last year also with the Xiaomi 11i hypercharge. So similar technology has been implemented here. There is a boost option to enable the 120 watt hypercharge. So we expect the battery life also to be pretty good, because you get a very large capacity battery, and this is powered by the Dimensity 1080 chip with up to 12 gigabyte RAM is offered, and you can expand it virtually with additional RAM. So up to 12 gigabyte is there. There is also variant with 8 gigabyte RAM and 256 gigabyte storage. So Dimensity 1080 is a pretty good chip. It's kind of an iteration over the last year's Dimensity 920, and it performs pretty well in our day-to-day experience. It was very smooth experience, no lags or issues we face. So again, one of the really good experiences. So that was our first experience with the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. So we'll have the detailed reviews including the charging test, the cameras, our full review coming up on 5th of January when the device will be launched. We'll have to wait for the pricing as well. We are not sure about the pricing, but again, this is slightly more premium than last year's variant with the 120 watt hypercharge, and you also get the 200 megapixel sensor. So expect the pricing also to be slightly more premium than the last year's variant. So what do you guys think about the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and what is your expected pricing of the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus. So you can let us know in the comment section. So we'll have the detailed review coming up. So this is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.